was speaking with a brother that commented on my YouTube page, and he was talking about people that been in prison for a long time suffer from complex PTSD. And it's ironic because I had been talking about this very subject for over a year now. I had been saying that, people that have been incarcerated for more than a year suffer from PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. But when I was talking to the brother, he talked about complex PTSD. And I think that's more accurate for our situation. So I always tell my brothers, we have to get together with each other. We have to have conversations with each other because there are some conversations that we have that a person that have not been through what we've been through, they will not understand it, and they definitely will not overstand it. And so it is very, very critical for those of us that have been away for a long time that we have our own roundtable sessions, because sometimes we think that we are all right, but when in fact we are still in survival mode. Some of us are still mentally locked up in prison. And how could I prove it? How can I prove that to be true? It's very simple. So it's very easy for those of us that have been away a long time. It's easy for us to isolate ourselves. It's easy for us to cut ourselves off from society while still surviving in society. If that makes sense. It's easy for us to go into a shell when nobody would know that we have gone in the shell but us, and people that have been through situations like we have been through, they can identify that when they see it. And so I encourage my brothers, if you've been in prison for 5 or more years, we have to have a think tank. We have to have our own organization. We have to create a space that we could sit down and we could talk about some of these things that we are going through, that we're the only one that know that we are going through it. And so I've talked to a brother that he's been released. He's been free for over 22 years. But unbeknownst to him, he's still isolated. He still withdraws himself from society, and sometimes he know it and sometimes he don't. And so those things are not healthy, because we have to sit down and we have to deal with those things, because the more we indulge in that type of activity, there are some other things that could spring up. We could start dealing with that situation with a prison mentality and don't even know that we are operating in it. And so I've explained one time where I've seen a few brothers that came out of the system. And once their mind tried to digest what was going on in a brand new world, that information overload took them to a space where they couldn't even come back to reality. I've seen that happen to some of the brothers. So I just wanted to come on and give this short message to my brothers that if we've been in a long time, I promise you, just because we know how to survive and thrive in this new world does not mean that we are handling our situation properly. And it does not mean that we have the comprehension of the things that is going on in this new world that we're in, that's totally opposite from the world that we came out of. And we need therapy. Straight up. I don't care how smart we are. Do you know that there are some people in what they call insane asylums and mental health institutions? They're very, very intelligent. You know, some of them, they could be deans in colleges. They're that intelligent. Some of them, they could do operation on people. They still have those skills. But with their mindset, they are not fit to be into society. And there's a lot of us that have been in prison. We are definitely not fit to be in society, but we know how to maneuver our way through it. But once we come together and we bring together our think tank, we bring together our little community so that we can talk about the thing that plagues us between our two ears, that makes us not only survive in this new world, but thrive in this new world as a productive citizen. Hey, I thank y'all for listening.
90 Days, 305 Degrees podcast. Our community said they wanted a platform that they could get their ideas and their messages out. Hence, Sunny Days 305 is on fire.